I'm so tired of this gender war. Like, why can't we just live peacefully together? We shall overcome. Like men and women. No. Can we
I'm
do
curious to hear from AP. Why do he think that the gender war is what it's doing right now?
I believe that men are finally saying what's on their mind in an open forum. I don't think that women are actually used to hearing just men in general talk about things that we have a tendency to talk about when it's just us. And I think that women that disagree with some of the things that we say on how we really think and how we really feel aren't used to hearing it that way. And when you're used to being pandered to, when you're used to being told that you're the greatest thing since sliced bread, you get in your feelings when finally men are opening up. And then I think that triggers men into saying, hey, I don't think you were really invited to this conversation, but since you're here, blah, 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 blah. And then naturally, women are going to turn around and say, hold on, what are you talking about? Blah, 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 blah. And it has just exploded into this men against women dynamic, mainly because men decided to start speaking up.
you know, I think because of the way it's coming out. So we have to be, I think the women are responding because it's on a public platform. And whenever you say things about anybody publicly, they're going to try to defend themselves, right? And so I think that that's where the women, I think that if men were just saying, hey, we need to do this, this, and this, I don't think, maybe it's a few women who would jump in just because women feel like they got to be a part of everything. But I think that has a lot to do with just the platform. I think it's going to go dead. Terry, you can speak on it. Let me just get my charger.
I was going to say, I think part of what Shan was saying, women are very sensitive to tone and presentation, delivery. And I think men are starting to talk, but I also think that they're talking and kind of like how y'all be saying that is like this girl code that y'all be saying everybody be on code. But I think the same thing about guys, because it's guys that are saying some of this stuff that's not even their experience as well. Like, because and the reason I say that is because I hear so much of the same like talking points, like almost verbatim.
Give me an example of the talking point.
Talking points that has to do with like when they say things like Black women and their attitudes, right? Now, I'm not saying that that's not the case, but I think it's not Black women that have attitudes. I think women in general have attitudes. And we get like that from time to time. It happens. But what I'm seeing more, and I'm gonna say is speaking in our space as Black men and women, I just felt that there was a point in time that Black men were very respectful of women. And even I've seen, I would go even as far as even when a woman didn't deserve it, not saying that she needed to be treated like crap, but or disrespected like crap. But there was a point in time where Black men were very genial, like they were just respectful. And now it seems like with, I guess it's one of those things like when you hold in your emotions and then you explode. I think that's what we're seeing now from men is the explosion. And they explode and it all over everybody. Like, when you shake the can and then it busts open, it don't just stay in one space. It spreads and hit other people. And I think that's what we're seeing now.
So I think that I understand what you're saying. First, I'm going to say that, but I think that is misunderstood or misinterpreted respect for silence. And I'd also say that before men really started talking about these things, especially openly as YouTube and TikTok and whatever other platform is available, um, face to face, we're still going to be respectful until we're disrespected. But the people you knew were just like the people you knew. Now you get a group of men that don't really know each other still having the barbershop conversation on an open forum. And I think women typically misinterpret some of the grievances as complaining about all women. And I also believe that even if it doesn't pertain to you as a female, when they say girl code, you see it as even if he's talking about this random woman, I'm a woman, he's talking about me too. No, he's talking about his experience with this type of woman. And then more and more of the back and forth occurs. It's
Mhm.
like, yo, if this doesn't pertain to you, then I'm not really talking about you when I say women. I'm talking about the women I've encountered. I'm talking about the women that I've come across. I've never met you, lady. And if you want to make this about you, then we as men will redirect and make it about you, which is where the actual disrespect lies. But I think women take it personal when even though it's not personal to that particular woman. Or they exhibit some of those behaviors that of the type of people that that male is talking about, and they take offense to that. So they want to get on, let's say, panels or get in on the conversation and say, "Hey, but you don't understand X, Y, and Z," and then this vicious circle continues. I
Mhm.
actually believe if men are going to have that men conversation, this is why I love Tuesday nights because it's men talking to men about men. Um, if
Wait,
men are
can
going
I
to have,
just interject right there?
go
Y'all,
ahead,
you just said it was men's in the space on Tuesday night, men interacting and talking about men to men. A
talking to
lot
men
of
about men in the context of what men see and what men go through. I'm not saying that women aren't discussed,
Okay,
but
that's what I was gonna
it's
say. Sometimes I feel like for that, I think that's part of the problem too, is that we're in your mouth too much. Like in a situation like how y'all say, don't listen to men, don't listen to a woman telling you how men need to be, right? I hear that a lot. A woman can't even tell a man how to be. A woman should never be trying to tell a woman what to, a woman should never be trying to tell a man how to be a man or what to do, da da da. But a lot of time in those conversations is a steady talk about men talking about how to be a woman. A man can't tell a woman how to be a woman. What he can do is tell the woman he wants how he wants her to be for him. And I,
or maybe even emphasize this is the type of woman I want. You know what
right.
I'm saying? And it stopped because what has happened is I think that this is my thing. I just feel like we have a social responsibility. I think that we are pushing ourselves so much further behind. We don't even need other people to do it for us. We're doing it for ourselves, right? I think it is healthy to have discussions with people. And I'm glad that people have found a place in which they could have healthy discussions. They can vent, but we cannot vent so much to the point where it makes us look bad. You understand what I'm saying? And it takes us back as a people because we have to remember this conversation is not just happening amongst us. It is happening on the internet. So everybody sees the craziness.